Is there anything you want to get off your chest?
No.
No. We're at peace.
The only thing is
Thanks for your concern.
welcome back to Thanks for Your Concern. You're here with Ella.
And I'm Bernice. What's up, Ella?
What's up? Oh my god. It's early in the morning. I'm going to Vietnam today.
Woo!
I'm excited. I'm literally just going with like a fat ass in a dream. I'm not packing a lot of stuff just because the
Yes.
shopping is so good. I'm gonna come back with a whole new vibe. But I'm actually really excited because I've like researched on like indie brands. And tell me, like, when you look up indie brands, it's like, oh, as worn by Blackpink and Sabrina Carpenter. And I was like, is that indie at that point?
The thing is, like, a lot of those type of things, sometimes like a stylist gets it for them, and a stylist will like find things on the internet, and it is indie because usually they still don't have like a large following. Like, you'd be surprised. Some brands have an okay following, but not a lot of sales still because you just have
Okay.
to find the right consumer.
I'll report back, but I'm very
Yeah.
excited because I think it'll be like kind of cool. And then the thing that's unique about Vietnam is that everything gets made there, like because that's where a lot of textiles get made. And so it's like the indie designers like actually go to factories. So I think that's gonna be a cool element to it. I'm very excited. I have a 20-hour flight ahead of me, but I have my melatonin gummies, a Kindle, and headphones. So I should be good.
Perfect.
What are you up to? What's gonna be the next time I see you is in New York? What's going on in the next couple of weeks for you?
There's so many things. I have like some vendor markets back to back to back. I have some EDC outfits I need to finish. So really like putting pedal to the metal on all of that. Want to get all of that sorted and build some of my inventory. I think a lot of these vendor events are boots on the ground growing my brand, because you like get to meet people and you get to talk about it and you get to be excited. That's kind of where we're at right now, where it's like, oh girl, like we're already in there. So I feel good. A lot of people have been inviting me to like their events to vend at. So, maybe just keep pushing that, like getting to know my customer, what exactly they're looking for, asking more questions, and seeing the needs, the nitty gritties.
That's so fun. The smart businessman, boots on the ground.
And then I'm still waiting to hear back about some things that may be going on this summer, some cool, fun things regarding festivals and potentially going to some. And then I'm going to Seattle. So, like, you come here and then I literally go there.
Well, that means we're going to have a lot of in-person episodes, y'all. How fun is that? Those are always a banger. But, oh my gosh, the one last announcement that I have to make, according to the interwebs. Dude, you guys, I have an Etsy shop that sells spreadsheets and planners, okay? Honestly, it's because I'm type A, okay? So I make things for myself, and literally someone was like, you should sell these. And so I was like, you know what? I should. I made my first official sale, which is like dope. Woo! And that was from grassroots Pinterest efforts, okay? I was like, you know what? People might be interested. So, like, if you need to move soon, I got a planner for that. House hunting, got a plan for that. Trip planner, got a planner for that. Spreadsheets and their dope products, okay? My Etsy store is Plan and Post Co. So that's my other announcement. I'm starting to I've made my first $5 of side hustle money, okay?
That's exciting.
Yeah, we need it. We need it to move. So it is exciting.
One thing leads to another, and yeah, you never know how you can make some what is it called, like when money just grows on its own?
Passive income.
Yes, passive income.
Bitch, it's not passive. I put so many hours into this, and that's actually the funny thing. Like, we should do a whole episode about like the lies the internet tells you, because they're like, oh, just like make this, put this on there, it's easy. I made $10,000 this month in passive income. It's like, either you're hiring someone to do this or you're fucking lying. It's not passive yet.
Yeah. I understand. The initial investment's got to be kind of big for it to become like a passive thing.
Yes, it'll eventually be passive, but at this point, nah, because I'm getting paid like 10 cents an hour. If we're like not even 10 cents an hour, we're talking like five. I'm working for 5 cents anyway. We have such a fun episode for you guys today. Are we ready to get into it?
Let's get it going. I love getting shit off my chest. I feel like it's like a cathartic experience, and I've been seeing a lot of things online with this, like, unfortunately, like Alex to Alex debacle. It did bring up some other people that are ready to get things off their chest, and I think that that's wonderful because I love when people spill tea that has nothing to do with me. And Santina is this girl that used to work for Dr. Miami, and she used to do his social media, like the original like TikTok girl. And then she came out with like her expose recently, and I was like, you know what? We need more of that.
Her accusation for Dr. Miami was like he was underpaying her and he stole my personality. And I just kind of was like, God, tale as old as time, isn't it?
Truly. And I kind of had to reflect on this because sometimes, like, getting that shit off your chest, like, really, you finally let go of any sort of a hold that has left in you. Like, anytime I've really spilled the tea on a situation that I was maybe like keeping to myself in a public way, sometimes it just becomes like, oh wow, I really just had to get that out, and now I don't care anymore.
That could happen. Or the other thing is that once it's out in the ether, you can't take it back. You're like, you kind of need that though. Like you need other people to know. Like with my ex, I was like, once I tell people like what's fucking happening, it's just, that's gonna be the raps. It has to be out in the ether so other people can know.
Yeah, I think it's either like still happening or you're still one way or another like processing it. When people are like silent about, well, the tea has not been spilled yet. I think it's giving processing. It's giving, there's some sort of like idea there could be some retaliation. So I think sometimes the best tea spilled is like over a little bit of time where people have like reflected. And I like how she had like a section where it's like, what's my part in all of this? Which just shows like growth and accountability as an adult, which everybody has a part in their own suffering. So I think that those are the best times to finally like seal the deal. It's a closure you give yourself per se to get that shit off your chest.
I feel like the biggest tea spill that was like, it went viral was like, Hey Sisters, James Charles and Tati Westbrook drama. That was like crazy at the time. And you're just watching people, and there's something like very weird about people telling very personal events to millions of people. When it comes to like accountability and like spilling tea, I feel like a lot of people can't do that. Sometimes you hear a story and you're like, man, I feel like there's like another side of this story.
I think there's always two sides to the story, you know, and Dr. Miami might as well be like, to be completely honest, that type of role, and especially at the times that we live in, you don't get paid a lot for that shit. Even though you're like immensely growing a brand in any sort of industry, even in the fashion industry, all of those jobs that are around that much money. Like, good for her for leaving, but that is pretty much like the standard of getting paid for a lot of like entry level positions. And even if you're growing within your position, like people in any company are not so easy to give you a raise. So I feel like it brought awareness to like a faulty system as much as like he's part of it. That is an industry standard, which I think is like really sad.
It's really interesting because I feel like the new version of that, where people are getting criminally underpaid, is like, have you heard of Canvas UGC, where like literally they'll hire one person to make content for a new brand, and basically like, we own the handle, we own the account, but you're making videos for us every single day, and then they pay you like $3,000 a month, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's such a good deal. It's like, girly pop, that's like a 50K a year job on the low end, you know? But because you're doing it on the side as a contractor, they're getting a good deal. There's a reason why these positions are so popular.
Yeah, and I've been getting reached out by like smaller companies and brands like trying to promote their product, but really it's kind of like that, like make this much content for basically no profit. It's like, put this link on your like bio and if you get commission off sales, but it's like, then you look at how much they kind of want from you and I'm like, wait, like I should be paid for this. You know what I mean?
The deals,
The deal was not dealing. I was
the
like,
deals are not dealing.
yeah, I was like, I'll do this for the one time to, look like I'm willing to work with brands and whatever. I'm going to give it a go. Maybe this will spark something in me. But at the same time, I was just like, I don't love this method of technically could be making money if I promote it enough where I'm really working for free. It's not for me.
Yeah. I think the other like brand of like spilling tea is like the apology video, and sometimes I feel like those don't always land. The apology video usually comes after a scandal, because you posted the original video thinking it wasn't gonna. You would have posted the video if you thought it was gonna blow up into a negative thing. So I feel like the apology video usually comes after some backlash, and I always think it's interesting when people. I'm like, damn, this is a bad apology. If this was my apology in real life, this ain't good.
This ain't good. Well, a lot of them are like forced into an apology. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to show face, and some people haven't really reflected on anything. They just know they have to come up with some sort of like statement or nothing at all and wait until people forget about it.
I know. Well, with that Alex Earl drama, it's like she did have some tweets that she just kind of shut the fuck up about, and now it's like no one cares. And I'm like, I kind of care.
It's interesting how short of an attention span like we have as a society. I think sometimes I find myself chuckling to people. I'm like, wait, actually, let me just scroll away.
Dude, you guys don't know how many people I have blocked, okay? And I'm gonna be honest, I press that block button a lot, okay? Because I feel like I don't want to bitch and complain about seeing people that I just don't feel like giving them my eyeballs. And so what do? I just block them and I never see them again. And then there's nothing to talk about.
That is true. And technically that's how they're making their money. So that is the correct method, is to block and go.
Block and go.
In terms of getting shit off your chest, I think that more people need to practice this as a way of life, not just in big situations. I believe that sometimes big situations just serve their own moment, but I do see a lot of people who are like mad passive aggressive, and it's because they just don't get whatever is bothering them off their chest. Oh, it's fine until like obviously it's not, and that's when shit starts erupting. I'm big on getting shit off my chest. I have way too much anxiety not to, actually.
I feel like with getting shit off your chest, when it's like little thing, I try to not over pump it up. Like I think sometimes I like overestimate how much something's gonna be to get off my chest. And now like through practice, I'm like, it's not really that big deal if I just say something politely now. It's easier to say something now than it is have this like added on to my memory of like things I don't like about someone or something that someone did that I didn't particularly like. It's like I can just like correct it in the moment in a low key way. Because if I ever bring this up, have you ever had a moment where you're like, I have to get this off my chest now because if I do it in the future, it's gonna sound fucking insane. Like there's like a little moment where I'll like just give kind of like a very low key example. We had a friend who like basically ordered something for themselves, was like, hey, do you want to bite? And then at the end of the night was like, hey, do you want to split this? And I want to say, mind you, I had a bite that they offered. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to say something now, because if I don't and I ever bring this up later down the line, it's going to sound fucking crazy. People are going to forget about it. It is either now or never for saying something. So either I have to say something now or I just need to let it go.
Yeah.
Could you imagine in 2 years I'd be like, you know what, bitch, you are so fucking greedy, or like, I'm so pissed at you. You remember when I had one fucking chip and then you asked me to pay for it and I did? Like, that would sound insane in like 2 years. But right now being like, do you really feel like I should pay for it? And then they apologized. It was all good. It's not really that big of a deal. But I just felt like in the moment, I was like, if I don't say something now, I have to let this go.
Yeah, I understand that. A situation that has recently occurred to me is I now am more worried about who I become friends with, because you really have to be kind of like in the same playing field or else it becomes kind of an issue. I had like a friend that was like just younger than me, and younger people just like process their emotions differently. Like you just do, because I've been younger, okay, and I know how life just feels different. And they were just like going through a lot of stuff. So like when it became parts of them like not showing up for me the way that I wanted them to, I was kind of like, I don't really want to pile on, because this person already feels like they have their plate is full. You know what I mean? Like this is a lot. So I'm just like, like it's cool. and like you understand their position. But I think, at least for me, the more I did that and started not communicating my needs, I realized like maybe this is not a friendship I can keep, just because I just don't feel like this is actually friendship. You know what I mean? If I can't like communicate how I'm feeling, what I'm saying, and feel like you could meet me, then maybe this is just like not, we're not in the same playing field right now. And maybe I just need to step away, because I can't like hold you accountable for something I'm not communicating. And I also don't want to like come out left field and be like, you never care about my feelings. So I don't know. It's like a weird sort of moment where it's like I chose not to get shit off my chest, and now I kind of like have to live with that.
That's hard, right? But I definitely felt that feeling where when I was younger, I think I had a couple friendship blowouts that didn't need to be blowouts if I had gotten shit off my chest earlier. I just say what's up, like just say what's on my mind. Come from a constructive place. I think you have to choose a place at a time to discuss it, because I think sometimes when getting shit off your chest goes awry is when it's like not an appropriate time to bring it up. If people have drinking, maybe not the best time to have a productive conversation. I think when do it in front of other people so people feel called out, that might not be the best time. I think it depends on the situation. If you care about that relationship and want to continue being that person's friend, I think it's best not to just, if you're at a party with new people, like let me talk about all the things you've done to me in the past week, probably not the best time. And I think that not getting shit off my chest or not doing it at the right time kind of like do some shit up. So it's like now I try to at least get shit off my chest in like a productive, healthy manner. Like, hey, like let's talk about this like when you have a second.
Yeah. Have you ever been taken left field by someone that like needs to get shit off their chest?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I've told this story specifically, but I had someone like blow up me about all of their issues with the trip, like on the trip, but they didn't say anything beforehand about anything. And they were just like, okay, cool, yeah, love it. Yeah, sounds good. Cool, 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 cool. And then, like we're in day 5, it's about midnight. Everyone's been drinking all day because it was like a festival situation. And then they get all the shit off their chest where it's like, well, first of all, this all could have been solvable if we had talked about it, or even just brought it up sooner,
Yeah.
It was all fixable. I think that's when you really need to like get shit off your chest, is like when you can fix some stuff. Like there's things that like, okay, that happened and there's nothing there's no growth that could be had here because it was a bad moment, or the moment has completely passed. Like, if you're gonna bring up like being a bridesmaid at someone's wedding and all the issues with it, after the wedding it's a little too late. But before and during, that's a lot easier. So I think they kind of like blew up on me, like, and it was in front of people and it was completely out of left field. Now luckily the other people thought it was kind of crazy too, so I wasn't like super embarrassed, because the other people were like
Yeah.
what's going on? Like people were drinking at a campsite and everyone's like, what's going on here? And they're like talking about they didn't like breakfast plans on day 1, 2, and 3. People were understandably like, I didn't feel that embarrassed, but I feel like there's times when you do kind of feel embarrassed because you're like, dang, I wish someone would have said something earlier.
Yeah, I get that. I think I've caught myself doing that, but like the thing is, like, you look silly when you overreact out of like a public place. You know what I mean? That never goes like in your favor, even though you speaking your shit might be valid. I think the moment in time may just like not be the time for you. And I think I felt myself get close to these moments where I like feel a little bit of like passive aggression, and I'm like, I gotta look within. I'm like, I need to talk to this person because obviously like something's up. And I've had good growing conversations with friends like that. I've had a lot of lash outs from men at like outings where obviously you're like mad about something, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, when you're ready, we can talk about it. You know what I mean? Because obviously, like, you're coming at me, but it's not really what you want to come at me about.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we've been drinking. Obviously, you seem like you're really hyped up. When you're ready to speak about this, we can. And the thing is, like, if I see you and I know, like, I've upset you or I've done something crazy, I will most likely follow up with you, like,
for sure.
be like, hey, like, you told me this one time. I don't know, like, if this is something you want to talk about, like, I would love to make space to, like, hear you out. Has not been the case. No man has ever, like, soberly reached out to me to talk about it, okay?
Yeah, I had this person like get some shit off their chest, and then like maybe like a week later they were like, I said some things, you said some things, and I said, oh, excuse me, sir, I want to just, for clarity's sake, say I said nothing. You said some things. And it was like a friend of a friend. And I was literally like, just so that everyone knows, you unpromptu got some shit off of your chest that was massively inappropriate. And I said nothing because I literally remember in the moment I just go, oh. I think there's some relationships where you're like open and expecting someone to get shit off their chest, like you're like, okay, well, we actually have like a pretty strong relationship. We hang out a lot. So of course I'm not a perfect person. So if someone like pretty close to me like has something to say, I'm like pretty open to receive it. But when you have like someone that's like kind of random, like get some shit off their chest, you're like, I'm so sorry. I was not mentally prepared for you to have beef with me,
Right. I don't know if I've had that. I don't think I've had a random beef. Maybe they just don't tell me. I encourage you talking your shit out to me. Like, let's squash it. We were big on squashing the beef in college, I think. When we knew people had like little tips, is like, what's the issue? Like, let's just get it out. I welcome feedback.
I feel like that's why I genuinely feel like a girl's girl, is because I'm like, I know this girl doesn't like me.
I'm gonna leave her alone.
I'm either gonna leave her alone, or like sometimes I might say something. If we share the same space, I usually don't say anything until I heard that they've said something to someone else. Then I feel like, okay, well then this opens the door that I'm not assuming that you don't like me, like you said something.
Yeah, I get that. I'm open to like acknowledging my flaws, where my shortcomings. Okay, so I think when people don't just like get it out, sometimes it's frustrating to me, because it's like, well, I can't fix it unless you speak up. And if you choose not to speak up and get it out, and I'm met with like any sort of like passive aggression, or you've created a narrative about me, in your head because you didn't speak up, then I can't fix that. And I can't change that, because you already got yourself worked up. So I don't know if it's really my responsibility now to like make you like have a different perception of me when you've taken that narrative and ran with it.
Yeah, I agree. I assume good intent to a fault, where I'm like, if I feel a vibe, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just gonna assume they like me until they say something.
Yeah.
Because I think that plays more in the correct way, because sometimes it really isn't about you, and like how self-centered is it that someone's having a bad day and you're like, oh, they hate me, they're fucking obsessed with me, like when they're just not vibing, or they're like insecure themselves, or you have no idea. So I assume good intent. So I kind of agree with you, where it's like, if you don't bring it up, I don't really have an opportunity to fix it. And that's why I actually kind of feel like you should, get stuff off your chest with your friends and family, like your family specifically. Like if you don't like a certain dynamic, you should give your family that opportunity to change it, because until you do, it's just going to continue being the same if you don't give people the opportunity to change.
Yeah, that is true. I think in general, speaking up about something that upsets you is generally the way to go. If you're met with a lot of hard walls, then that's probably just means like that's not the right person to have in your life. I think I've had a lot of conflict specifically with not with that many people. I feel like sometimes when I try to air out how I feel, most people in my life have always like met me with some sort of like compassion, understanding, let's work it out. I think I'm met with like stronger walls, or like take me or leave me, from like a few men. And I've chosen to leave because it's just like not worth it. Like if somebody cares about you, they're gonna make a little bit of space for your feelings. I think if it's like a business relationship, that's a little different. But I think in general, somebody in your life that like has the capacity to meet you will. And if they don't, they probably don't have the capacity, and then that's your choice whether you want to stay in that situation or not.
Also, if you like have something you want to bring to the table, I think it's good to bring the most recent example and not like pile on to like someone if you want to get the best response. Hey, this is like a pattern I'm seeing. Here's an example of the latest time it happened. Here's like, give them a solution of what you want. I think that's probably where you're going to get the best result.
Yeah, 100%. I think I had some troubling friendships with people don't get things off their chests like immediately, and then later when I'm met with some aggression comes out later, where I'm like, does this person just like not like me at all? Or people that are still like commenting on your stuff and then they have some shit to say, and I'm like, why did you just like hype me up on the internet? And then you're like, low key, I've had like weird situations where again, like people sometimes like create a narrative but are still commenting on my shit like we're cool, and it's like, if we're not cool, then why are you saying we are?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It really is. So I now prefer more confrontational people that right away can say like, hey, I don't like that, and I'm like, okay,
Love it.
love
your mind.
that. Yeah, get it off your chest. Is there anything you want to get off your chest?
No.
No. We're at peace.
The only thing is, this is honestly a lot harder than I think people are willing to admit. And I think it kind of sucks to say, like, this is hard, you know? Like, social media is hard. I don't know. I think it's, like, hard to admit that. But I think that is something. Like, this is actually, it's difficult to have a full-time job and then have things that you're trying to, like, make into a full-time job.
I mean, I think people realize that it's hard, don't they?
I don't know if they do. I don't know.
Oh, I think a lot of people live in a world where, like, I could do that. Okay, try it.
I think people don't perceive it as work because they might have social media. Oh, how hard is it to post? It's like, actually, there's like a lot more work that goes into it. And it sounds kind of like, you know, it's like, try being an influencer for a day. Like, it sounds a little out of touch, but I just mean, like, I think that's one thing, is that in my life, sometimes I hear conversation, I'm like, oh, they don't get it. Like, they just think it's like, oh, that's fun. And it is fun, but it is like work.
Yeah, it's a lot more work than you think it is.
Do stuff that doesn't feel like work at all. Like, I do Pilates. If I mountain climb, it doesn't feel like work at all, you know? Maybe some people take it that seriously, but this feels like work, like, a lot.
Sometimes I've had some people, like, sometimes undervalue how long it takes to make things. I think when I was younger, I was down to give my friends more free stuff. Like, Ella was a huge supporter. Ella can get free things whenever, okay? My sister and Ella can get free things whenever. But, like, everybody else, I'm just like, damn. Like, the audacity right now that you're not leading with budget rather than, like, maybe an expectation that I might hook you up. But, like, this shit takes me fucking forever. You know what I mean? And the margins are not very high.
Girl, I would not feel good about getting something for free for you, if I'm being honest. I would pay you, so I can't believe other people wouldn't too. It's your job. It's like, you know, have you heard, like, knitters never make anything for anyone? Because it's like, because people don't get it and they just, like, don't really give a fuck, which is like, it kind of makes sense because they don't actually do the work. Like, you have a connection to your, like, craft in a way that other people literally don't understand.
But I get you with that, with the sometimes people don't get it, because I would say that's like the most undervalued thing, is just the time and effort it really takes to make things, to post things, to do all the work.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would say the validity that people come at you when you say, like, you're an artist or you're a designer, like, people, unless you show them, like, it's not like it's like valid.
There's like this weird disconnect where it's like people are like, oh, okay, so she's like legit.
Yeah.
You have to either prove you're legit, or like, at me, I feel like I'm not legit yet, and so people are like, they're like, oh, it's like a silly little thing she does, and then at some point it's gonna be so big that it's like, oh wow, okay, well maybe I should, maybe it's not silly. And like, to me, it's dead serious.
I mean, nothing is really silly. I think anything that you're putting like time and effort to is just like the way that you're committed on running something. And I feel like sometimes I'm still met with people who like only see the validity on like tangible things or like real careers, where I'm like, I'm busting my ass and I'm paid for my lifestyle, thank God, but like, it's taken a while. And I think it's people to have that full concept of, is like, how does she make money if she doesn't have like a 9 to 5? I'm like, I do all sorts of jobs, but the mentality is still to make that level of money in order to sustain myself.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the only thing do I have anything else to get off my chest? I don't know. I feel like I live my life pretty openly to the things that bother me. I don't suffer in silence.
I've found that no one benefits from me suffering in silence. I don't benefit. The people around me don't benefit. The only people that benefit are like bad actors, and I don't really feel like cater my life to them.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right, y'all. If there's anything you need to get off your chest, you can find us on social media at Thanks Number 4 Your Concern, and I'm at LL Tutor.
I'm at Bernice Diaz M.
Make sure that you subscribe to us, and make sure you check us out on YouTube. If you have a YouTube, go check us out, subscribe, tell a friend, send it to a friend. It helps us out a whole lot, reaching new ear holes. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. We love you. Bye.
Bye.